Hi, it's Scott. ROCKFILE back with another podcast review. Let's talk about the 2011 thriller Contagion. I kind of have a love and like relationship with Steven Soderbergh. I think he's a great director. I think he's one of the best living directors because, well, he's tried everything. If you look over his career, he has literally done everything from filming historical epics with big budgets to filming a thriller on all iPhones and everything in between. This is him doing a very grounded documentary-style, almost thriller about a contagion. It was made in 2011, long before, well, I got to be honest, one of the worst things that's happened in modern times is making healthcare political and people believing and not believing things because of politics and not because of science or because of health. And this will really wake you up watching this, because this is how things could go if a terrible contagion got out. He assembled an incredible cast to do a script done by Scott Z. Burns. You've got Matt Damon, Lawrence Fishburne, Jude Law, Gwyneth Paltrow, Kate Winslet, Bryan Cranston, Sanaa Lathan. I mean, it's a stacked cast. It starts very simply. Somebody sick returning from Hong Kong gets somebody else sick. The mystery of how this all started becomes secondary to trying to stop it. In real contagion terms, if you've read books like The Hot Zone and how close we came to releasing Ebola in Washington, D.C., a real contagion that kills people, if it got loose, could wipe out a large portion of the population. The way we reacted to some of the COVID stuff and laughing about masks and stuff, there's a reason why other countries have masks handy and ready. If a contagion like this were to get loose, this is one way it could play out. It's not science fiction. They talk to the CDC and other experts on contagions and how this would work. Some of these main characters are introduced and die pretty quickly to show you that this is how things could actually go. Again, it was made back in 2011, and it was made to be as realistic as possible, not movies like Outbreak and Hot Zone, which they made into a miniseries, which should have been an epic film. But anyway, I thought the movie's great, and it's one of Steven Soderbergh's most memorable films. I picked it up not to be cheap, but it was below $10 on Amazon in some kind of lightning deal, and I was like, yeah, especially when I read that it got really good reviews. It's a native 4K transfer. The soundtrack has also been updated. It's a really great 4K, and I wouldn't have thought so because it's not a big budgeted film. I think it had about a $60 million budget. I mean, yes, that's big for Steven Soderbergh, but not big for, well, this is a globe-trotting, star-filled movie. Went on to make about $136 million. It became much more popular after 2020. So the Warner Brothers released this film. I think it was an original Warner Brothers thing that came out in 2011. And they really did a great job with the 4K. Like I said, I wouldn't have thought so, but compared to my old Blu-ray, which looks flat in comparison, this is a pretty lively transfer. I mean, it's not going to blow anybody away compared to the likes of a modern comic book movie, but as far as this goes, it was definitely a good upgrade, both audio and video. Not a whole lot of extras of some of the stuff that was on the Blu-ray, but what a great film from Steven Soderbergh. I think the acting is great. There's some shocking things that happen, not so much gore, just shocking that, wow, that main character got sick and died that fast, that kind of thing, you know? There's not enough of that in modern movies. I think we were really good at that in the 70s, where they'd introduce a character, and it could be a major star you knew, but they'd be the murder victim that the movie would be about, but they wouldn't tell you that going in, that kind of thing. Glad we're getting back to that a little bit. Again, Steven Soderbergh. Some of his movies really work for me. Some leave me cold, but I appreciate watching them. They're not always super entertaining, but this is one of them. I want to see Black Bag from last year. I really haven't had a chance to watch that yet, but this is one of his better films and a very rewatchable movie. That's another thing with some of the best directors. Their movies are once or twice and appreciate them for the art they are, but you're not going to rewatch it with family and friends when somebody wants to pop some popcorn, have an evening. This is one you can have people over. It has that ooey gooey, oh my, when people sneeze or cough on one another and there's a contagion in the air and that kind of thing, and they're trying to figure out if it's gone airborne or not. those kind of things play out realistically in this film, and they tried to keep it as grounded as possible. If you've never seen it, really good film, really well made, and I would highly recommend picking up the 4K while it's still available. It's still pretty cheap because it's, no steel book, no massive restoration, but I don't know. It looks pretty fantastic for what it is. It's a 14-year-old film, modern soundtrack, HDR applied, looked great. There was some grainy scenes, but I'm glad they filmed this however they filmed it. Maybe it was an ISO thing because some of the scenes are a little dark. But all in all, a great 4K with great surround sound and a great film. Well acted, shocking, and makes you think. And I like movies that make me think. So check out Contagion if you never have. The Blu-ray edition, I believe it came out a year or two ago. It's not been out that long, but definitely worth having in your collection because it's a really good rewatchable Steven Soderbergh film. I'm Scott. I'm ROCKFILE. Thanks for listening to another podcast. A lot more on the way, so please like, share, and subscribe, and have a spectacular day.